We move on for now to our big focus here tonight on the urban debate, and that is the brutal gang rape of a student in the city of Mysuru. In fact, outside Mysuru, in that district, near one of the very famous locations, which is a tourist spot, the Chamundi Hills. A young girl, along with her friend, went on a bike ride to the Chamundi Hills. They were stopped, they were asked for money, they were taken further inside into the jungles. 4 to 5 men, allegedly in an inebriated state, then went on to injure her, brutalize her, gang rape her. When her friend tried to save her, to come in between to fight back, he too was beaten up badly. 48 hours on since this incident, there haven't been any arrests so far. Here is what we know. There are lots of fill in the blanks in this horrifying crime that has taken place. About 7 o'clock in the evening, 2 days ago, at 7 o'clock in the evening, the student and her friend went on a bike ride to Chamundi Hills. At about 7:30 p.m. is when they got off the bike to walk around the forest area. That's when these group of miscreants probably spotted them, began to follow them. We now know that about 4 to 5 of them allegedly confronted the students, asked for money, and when the students refused, that's when the crime took place. Over the next couple of hours, we don't know what the details are, but yes, the girl was gang raped. The act was even recorded, was brutalized and injured. The friend tried to intervene and he was also beaten up. They even pelted stones at these two. At some point, the boy even lost his consciousness. When he came around is when somehow he tried to find the strength at around 12:30 in the morning. And in an hour later is when they reached the hospital for treatment. The girl is yet to record her statement. She is not in a condition. The boy has given his statement, basis which the investigation has started. But they haven't found anybody yet. There isn't anybody yet who's been arrested. What is worse? What is worse than the actual crime and the fact that those rapists are currently out there roaming free is the kind of commentary that comes in from our politicians. And it's not the first time. Case after case after case. When there is a brutal rape or a gang rape and questions are asked, why is it that our netas are so quick to turn around and resort to victim shaming? Today, it's not just the Home Minister of Karnataka, but also a Congress leader. A few weeks ago, it was the Goa Chief Minister. 10 years ago, it was the then Delhi Chief Minister. Multiple ministers, sitting chief ministers, parliamentarians, state home ministers have made similar comments where the first reaction seems to be, oh, why did you go there? What were you doing at that hour out there? Why were you wearing these clothes? Why were you alone with a boy? Why were you out at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 in the morning? Why were you in the jungle? Why were you on the beach? Why were you on the streets of the national capital? Every time when a direct question is asked about the investigation into a brutal gang rape, I don't understand why ministers think it is important for them to give us a moral lecture. I don't know if somebody told them it is part of their duty. They seem to believe so. Just listen it.
ರೇಪು ಆಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನವ್ರು ನನ್ನ ರೇಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ರೇಪ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಲಾಭ ಪಡೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ಅಮಾನುಷವಾದಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ನಡೀತದೆ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾನವೀಯ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೊತ್ತೆ ಹಾಕೋದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಲಾಭ ಗಳಿಸುವಂತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಭಯ
ಏಳುವರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿರ್ಜನವಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರದೇಶ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಬಾರ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾರನ್ನೂ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ ಅಂತ ತಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೇನು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗೇನು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೋದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ಜನ ಪ್ರದೇಶ, ಹೇಳಿ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಮಲಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸರ್ಕಾರನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಲಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆ ನಿರ್ಜನವಾದಂತ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದೇನೋ. ಇದು ರಾತ್ರಿ 7 ಗಂಟೆ ಅಥವಾ 8 ಗಂಟೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಿರೋದು ತಪ್ಪೆ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಹೀನಸ್ ಅಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ ಇಮ್ಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂತದ್ದು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಗಳ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ.
So you heard it for yourself, the kind of comments that were made by both the leaders. I don't understand why. Why is it that rather than focusing on the crime, on the criminals, on the investigation, and on providing justice, do these politicians believe that all we need from them is lecturing, sermonizing? Why do they believe that blaming the victim will make things better for anybody? For a girl, 23-year-old, 25-year-old, her family, who's going to be going through hell for the next many months. I don't know how long it will take. For somebody who's already going to be feeling brutalized, wondering what happened, whose family is going to be shattered, what do the politicians gain by saying, your fault, why did you go there? Let's say good evening to Anand Gurumurthy of the BJP, Aishwarya Mahadev, National Spokesperson for the Congress Party, Dr. Kripa Alva, former chairperson for the Karnataka State Commission for Protection of Child Rights, N.D. Mullah, former DCP Crime, Mr. Rajashekhar, a senior journalist, also joining us right now. Well, first up, actually, I want to go across to Mr. Rajashekhar to get a sense of, and to put this in perspective even for our national viewers. This Chamundi Hills, we understand, Mr. Rajashekhar, is an extremely, popular place with tourists. There are also some religious places to visit there. But of course, where the crime took place is relatively secluded. There aren't any CCTVs, there's barely any lighting. Now, these are the things that, of course, we can sit and talk about, not the fact that why did anybody go there, and if they went there, this is what would have happened. But give us a sense of the place, and is it a place where a lot of miscreants, troublemakers roam around because there isn't any security? Mr. Rajashekhar, you're on mute. I think you'll have to unmute yourself.
Absolutely. There are a lot of places which are secluded and which are not covered by the beat police. Karnataka has a beat police system where the police go in such places and keep a vigil. Unfortunately, I think there is no such vigil in this part of the city, Mysore. And a lot of miscreants, there have been instances of miscreants roaming around in this area in the past also. The police probably could have taken a preventive measure instead of letting such things happen. They could have even, if the police were present, at least they could have prevented the couple from going inside. Probably that could have also avoided the incident. Yeah, having said that, the insensitive and casual remark by the Home Minister doesn't augur well with his image. I mean, he is considered as one of the decent politicians in the state, but what he has done has damaged a lot for his own image. Besides that, the police also should have taken care of guarding such isolated, secluded places.
Yes, but let's try and understand what has happened there and what will be the way forward. Mr. N.D. Mullah, good evening to you. In a case like this, where there would be certain miscreants out there, they seem to have first attempted to rob this couple, and when they didn't get the money, when there was resistance, is when allegedly the gang rape took place. In such a scenario, how would the police proceed? There isn't any CCTV available there. The check post doesn't seem to have a track of who comes in and who goes out.
Good evening, and a very unfortunate incident Mysore is generally a peaceful city. Nothing such incidents take place. But I'm very sure that police, of course, in investigation, so far, no rape cases gone undetected. Police has strange ways of detecting cases. No criminal will escape. I mean, very unfortunate that in spite of police being very harsh these days on rapists and gangsters and petty criminals, in spite of all these things, this incident has taken place. Blaming police alone will not solve the problem. These incidents should not take place, but definitely this will be detected. Sans CCTV, the satellite will tell us, and the location of at a particular hour of the various telephones, mobiles and numbers and all that will give us a lot of clue. And police hunt such criminals who are likely to have somewhere. And it's very strange that the nature comes to the help of the rescue of the police, and some clues will crop up. And ultimately, these cases are detected. And I'm very sure Mysore police is a very efficient police. Youngsters are there, and a lot of scientific methods are involved in the investigation. Therefore, I'm very sure sooner or later, in a day or two, the the accused will be arrested.
Yes, and you know what I would want, and maybe we would have had these details if the politicians were also focusing on getting us these details and actually discussing about the real crime. And I'm not going to directly say that the police is not doing anything at all, but it has been 2 days and nobody so far has been arrested. We don't know if the cops have checked the records at the checkpost. We don't know why there isn't any kind of security, if there is at all any, in this forest area. Should this be a place, Mr. Rajshekhar Rao, where CCTVs, at least at certain entry points, need to be installed at all? Or is it a place where more patrolling should be present?
Absolutely. I think there have been some minor incidents in the past, not of the rape, but the incidents of robbing and other cases reported from these areas. Keeping that in mind, the police probably could have kind of stepped up their vigil, and probably it's difficult to put CCTVs all over in a jungle like that place, but at least they could have controlled the entry and exits of people after evenings. That could have probably prevented any such incidents being reported. I think that's where I think the police, not just now, in the past also, probably they should have taken care of this when such minor incidents happen, like robbery and other things. And it's always difficult to manage such large isolated areas with shrubs and bushy geography. So I don't blame the police fully, but they should have taken preventive measures, which I think they failed to take here.
Okay, all right. Now let's talk about as we bring more and more details as the investigation progresses, and we'll continue to do that. Let's talk about what this particularly problematic mindset is and the trend is. And I'm going to give few examples. One of the examples, the most recent ones, was of the Goa Chief Minister, where he said teens, particularly minors, should not be spending their night time on the beaches. This is after a brutal crime. Again, similar crime took place where a girl was actually with her friends and a group of friends, and then she was raped. And this is a comment that the Chief Minister of her state made. Similarly, there was another comment where it was said that all by herself till 3 a.m. in a city where people believe, you should not be so adventurous. And I'm sure all of you remember, this was a comment by the then Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit in 2008 after the Nirbhaya case. Rapes happen because men and women interact freely, is what Mamata Banerjee said again when an Aghori incident took place in West Bengal in 2012. Then Abu Azmi came about and said, the more the nudity, the more a girl is considered fashionable, ants will swarm the place where the sugar is. So now it's also about the clothes, not just the timing, not just the location. The location is the girl's fault, the timing is the girl's fault, what she wears is the girl's fault. If it's not, here is a solution. Child marriage is a solution to rape and other such atrocities against women, says Om Prakash Chautala, former Chief Minister of Haryana. If women want freedom, why don't they just roam around naked, says Manohar Lal Khattar, Haryana Chief Minister. And of course, the most famous one, boys will be boys, what will you do? Will you hang them for rape? Was Mulayam Singh Yadav. Joining this list and many, many more now will be the Karnataka State Home Minister, who not only decided to shame the victim by saying, why did you have to go to a secluded place, Anand Gurumurthy, but also thought he was making a very intelligent remark, some kind of a pun where he said, oh, the opposition is raping me, but the rape has actually happened there. How do ministers come up with these things?
First of all, even our Chief Minister, Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, has denounced this statement. And he has retracted his statement. He has taken it back, and he has, conveyed his apologies for the insensitive remark. So I think all the netas should understand this, whether it is from BJP party or some other party. These are very sensitive matters, and they have to be sensitive when they give out their statements. About this, the Chief Minister has, started constituting a new team, including the investigation officer. He is, having a special investigations team. And along with that, in Karnataka, it has been discussed that the Nirbhaya fund that is there, okay, and how the allocations are happening, this will also be reviewed once again in the coming days. And if there is any shortage of fund or anything that is needed in that part, also the Chief Minister will take care that the funds are allocated at whatever speed it needs to be done, and it will be done. So remedial measures, what need to be done, they have been discussed. And first and foremost, as the senior retired official expressed, it is to bring justice here, and that is being discussed, and a special investigation team will also be set up soon. For now, the investigation officer who is involved is doing his duty, and soon the victim will get justice. And again, it is better the politicians stop speaking about this in any insensitive manner. Let's not show any insensitivity towards this incident.
But it's not just that they're showing insensitivity by trivializing it and saying that, the opposition is trying to rape me when the case has happened here. What is the point of bringing up how secluded this area is? I'm trying to understand this habit which is there, and it percolates down, Anand. It percolates down to the police that will also then say, oh, it was, curfew time, secluded area.
Not at all acceptable. And even our CM has conveyed this, and he has retracted his statement. Not at all acceptable. In any manner, all these things are not at all acceptable. Okay, we cannot justify this in any way. Okay, whether our party person does it or any other party person does it, it is not acceptable. The opposition is asking for answers, yes, but we have to, silently do our work, ensure that the victim gets justice, and this incidents don't repeat. That should be our concern, and that is what will be the path of Karnataka government under the BJP.
And what does Manjula Manasa think, Aishwarya? Why was it important for this lady to come out and mention that what is wrong and what is right for anybody to do?
Good evening, Tanvi. First and foremost, let me offer my deepest shock and condemnation at this incident. I come from Mysore. I was born and raised in that district. We know how safe it is for all of us. And what has happened is something that has shocked all of us, because this is unheard of in the district that is there. When Miss Manjula Manasa did speak, and the Chamundi Hills is a forested area that after a certain time it generally shuts down. It is hilly and there are wild animals there. I'm not going to interpret her statement to try and justify it in any sense. It is unfortunate, and I will offer condemnation of any statement, whether on my side of the spectrum or on the BJP, if anything comes down to trying to blame the victim. However, in the same context, I would like to highlight what my party president has said. He has offered the strongest condemnation happened. He says you cannot victim shame. We have formed a committee also to look into what exactly has happened and why there's a delay in the FIR. And tomorrow the leaders will be visiting the region. They're also going to be taking to task the authorities along with local MLAs of Mysore from the Congress to see why that the law and order situation or the police were not there around then, and why the FIR has taken so long. I very strongly, and I stand with my party leadership when I say this, that we offer the strongest condemnation for anybody who wants to make misogynistic statements that smack of, like, patriarchy and paternalism that we've seen for decades and centuries in this country, Tanvi. And I have no excuses to make for anyone, be
So
it
I-
for my
so-
my party,
I am not
for anybody.
going to blame you or Anand Gurumurthy for the comments that people in your party make. But I am going to ask you this, to honestly tell me, why is it that you and Anand Gurumurthy or any other party spokesman has to repeatedly come and tell us this? Every time there is a such incident, this party spokesperson come and say, oh, we don't stand by it. They have already clarified, they have already apologized. In the last case, when it was the Goa Chief Minister kept saying, my comments have been misunderstood. But the party spokesperson kept saying that, here we don't back this or justify this. Then why does it keep happening? Where do you find such people who go up such higher up in your parties and get away with this kind of a mindset? How are we going to bring about an actual change in fighting crime if this is the mindset, Aishwarya?
Tanvi, I think you're talking about a far more deep-rooted issue of paternalism and the patriarchy that exists. I do not have an insight into the psyche of Ms. Manjula Manasa as to what motivated her to make those statements. And she did speak in Kannada, where she did admit that it was a forested region where they went, and that was wrong, And that is, again, if somebody wants to justify it, they can do it based on that technicality, but I will not. I unequivocally will not support anybody who will deride a victim or even blame them or shame them for an incident that has taken place. However, I think there has to be systemic sensitization in this regard. And I think that way the Congress party has been far more responsible in terms of basically controlling or even condemning statements of their leaders. You saw what happened with the Uttarakhand chief minister who spoke about ripped jeans and how that speaks of a woman's character. What did the party do? You saw Yogi Adityanath talking about women and how they should not go out. What did the party do there? You saw a Congress leader talking about how women eating chow mein causes more rape, and women going out at night obviously speaks of bad parenthood. What did the BJP do? And I think in terms of responsibility, the Congress party has been far more responsible in reprimanding and condemning such statements, while the BJP allows these statements to go because it smacks of the deep-rooted misogyny that comes from their party. And if you look at the crimes against women across BJP ruled states, you see that there's a direct correlation to the status of women to the government of the day, which is BJP. And if you look at UP, or even if
I disagree. I don't think there is absolutely any connection with any party being in power and the crime rate going up and down. Whether it is Uttar Pradesh or Karnataka or Maharashtra, irrespective of which party is at the helm of it, cutting across party lines, the mindset is the same. Samajwadi Party, TM. I read out instances of leaders from every political party. Now, you may want to believe, Aishwarya, that your condemnation is stronger and better than that being offered here by Anand Gurumurthy, but that's not going to change anything on ground. Anand.
Yes. See, let me tell you one thing. It's across the political parties, you have clearly shown what has been told. Okay. And you have asked the very correct question. Why is the spokesperson coming here and telling that it is insensitive? And why are the leaders telling something else in their anguish and then retracting their statements? This is something, which is very important for leaders to understand, including the spokespersons, everybody. They have to understand what matter, what they have to speak, and what they have to politicize, and in which we have to go together, ensure that victims are getting justice in a speedy manner. And the second most important thing is these incidents don't repeat. So this is the path we have to take. Okay. See, if somebody has done a mistake, not only Aishwarya told a big list of things that Congress has done, even BJP has done, but still statements have come from every party. Every party person has done this. So it is a kind of sensitization that has to happen within our society, that we have to become more aware of this and stop speaking in an insensitive manner. This is very important. And the second thing is blaming with words. Okay, these are the words patriarchy and all are not something which are needed at this point in time. Our country has run for thousands of years, and it has been running in a very good cultural background. let us go ahead, understand the issues today and, go ahead and solve it one by one.
And I'll
Resolve
tell you why it's a problem, systemic problem, which is not just about netas. Because Dr. Kripa Alwa, good evening and thank you for patiently waiting. We had, messages and information being shared by the probe authorities to suggest that what that area is like. One of the things that was, shared was to say, oh, that area is strewn with used condoms. Now, I would understand if the idea is to tell us that they're going to use that as evidence and see if it is related to the crime in focus here and in connection here. But it's not. Mostly in such instances, it would be a way of saying, look, this is one of those secluded areas where a couple goes, hides and does unspeakable things in the middle of the night, in the middle of a pandemic. What can we do? The crime has happened. The mindset is actually like that from top to bottom.
First of all, let me tell you that every rape is an extremely painful thing that can happen to anybody. And if I do not want to talk about the Mysore case in particular, I would like to bring your focus to a larger issue where, every day there are 88 girls being raped in India every day. So I think we need to bring our focus to a larger picture where I feel there is a systemic failure. Now, coming back to the question that you have asked me about the condoms being found there, in that event, I think the police should have been more vigilant in an area like that, because this is prone to, any kind of incident happening there. So there is a systemic failure right from the bottom to the top. It could be right from the first FIR that has to be filed, then the courts. And I think we need to relook into how we can make the laws more robust. Because in spite of having such stringent laws, and if people are still not scared of these laws, then I think we need to relook into it and try to find a solution and not talk about it just when it happens. Because 88 rapes are happening every day, and we are talking about one such rape, perhaps once a month or twice, once in 2 months. No. I think there is a larger issue. I think we have all failed the society. We are supposed to be a part of a society where we have been fighting for women's rights, child rights, but somewhere there is a failure in the entire system, and that has to be relooked into. That is my focus today.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. And while this is one case which has grabbed everybody's attention, there are such brutal crimes taking place against women every day.
Every rape should, take attention of all of us.
I agree, and I can very clearly, confidently say that in most of these instances, similar reaction would be taking place, where the response is to doubt the victim, question the victim, blame and shame the victim or their family. In fact, joining me right now is another guest, और मेरे साथ अभी जुड़ रहे हैं एक पिताजी जिनकी बेटी के साथ भी कुछ ऐसा ही हुआ. वो केस निर्भया के केस से भी पहले का है, और 3-4 दिन बाद बहुत कोशिश करने के बाद भी उनकी बेटी को नहीं बचा पाए, और वो आज तक न्याय के लिए इधर से उधर भाग रहे हैं, इंतजार कर रहे हैं. और एक एग्जाम्पल कि निर्भया जो सबके अटेंशन में आया, उस केस में फिर भी हमें 10 साल बाद कुछ तो कहीं नतीजा मिला, कुछ न्याय मिला. इस केस में तो वो भी नहीं, और मैं अभी उनसे बात करना चाहती हूँ. और आप मुझे ये बताएं कि आज हम जो देख रहे हैं ऐसा एक बहुत भयानक हादसा जो कर्नाटका में हुआ, जहाँ पे उस बच्ची को और उसके दोस्त को ब्लेम किया जा रहा है कि वो क्यों रात को घूमने चले गए, वो क्यों ऐसी सुनसान जगह चले गए. क्या ऐसा हर एक फैमिली के साथ होता है कि सवाल आपसे पूछे जाते हैं, ब्लेम माँ बाप पे किया जाता है, बजाय कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन करे और न्याय दिलाए आपसे ही उल्टे सवाल पूछे गए। जी, मैं लड़की के पापा से ये सवाल पूछ रही हूँ। मैं आपका नाम नहीं लेना चाहूंगी, तो अगर आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है जी, तो ये सवाल आपसे कि जिस तरीके से आज कर्नाटका में एक लड़की को ब्लेम किया जा रहा है उसके साथ जो गैंग रेप हुआ उसके लिए कि वो वहाँ खाली जगह अकेले में सुनसान जगह क्यों घूमने चली गई, इस तरीके से क्या आपकी और आपकी फैमिली को भी सवाल झेलने पड़े कि आप लोगों ने अपनी लड़की को कंट्रोल में नहीं रखा?
जी, मैं तो ये कहता हूँ कि जो हमारा देश का कानून है वो कानून व्यवस्था बहुत ढीला है और उसी कारण जो है मुलजिम बढ़ रहे हैं। जब तक मुलजिम जो तिहाड़ में बंद हैं, कहीं के भी इस क्राइम में लिप्त हैं, जब तक उनको फांसी नहीं दिया जाएगा तब तक क्राइम नहीं रुकेंगे। क्योंकि तिहाड़ में जेल में रोटी मिल रही है, खाना मिल रहा है, रहना मिल रहा है फ्री में, ऐश की जिंदगी कट रही है, चरस गांजा वहां मिल रहा है, जो है कि मोबाइल उनको मिल रहा है। तो जब तक हम ये कहते हैं कि जो इस केस में लिप्त मुलजिम है, जब तक इनका खात्मा नहीं होगा तब तक क्राइम नहीं रुकेंगे, क्योंकि इससे जो है खौफ नहीं है। क्या है, क्राइम कर लिया, जेल में चले गए, रोटी पानी तो वहां मिल ही जाएगी।
जी,
अब
जी कहिए।
10 साल गुजर गए मेरे को धक्के खाते खाते, मैं किसके पास जाता? आज जो है कि मेरे जगह कोई मंत्री होता, नेता होता तो आज ये नौबत नहीं आती। ना तो ये नौबत आती है, अगर नौबत आती तो जल्दी से जल्दी उसमें मुलजिमों को फांसी दिया जाता। तो हम गरीबों के लिए जो है देश में जो है कि कानून व्यवस्था बना तो है, लेकिन वो उसका पूरा उपयोग नहीं हो रहा है।
जी, जब शुरू में आप जाते थे पुलिस के पास इस केस को लेके कि क्या हो रहा है, आगे क्या होगा, कब एक्शन लिया जाएगा, तो क्या बोला जाता था आपको?
हो जाएगा, हो रहा है, बस हम लगे हुए हैं। ठीक है जी, हम लगे हुए हैं, लेकिन ये है कि वो तो उस माँ बाप से क्या गुजरती है, जिससे बीतती है उसी को पता चलता है कि क्या हाल है। 10 साल हो गए, दामिनी के केस से पहले का 9 फरवरी 2012 का केस है, जिसमें तीन मुलजिम है, आज तिहाड़ में रोटी तोड़ रहे हैं।
ये सही कहा आपने, और यही एक सिस्टम की जो खामी है, ये हमको बदलना है। और इसी से जो आपने ये बात बोली कि जब जेल में भी जाने के बाद उनको क्या ही प्रॉब्लम है, क्यों ही डर होगा, जब वहां पे भी वो आराम से रह रहे हैं। और जो सवाल माँ बाप से पूछे जाते हैं कि तुमने उसको क्यों जाने दिया, वो रात को कहाँ से आ रही थी, कहाँ जा रही थी, घर पे क्यों नहीं रहा, ये एक बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है। हर बार यही सवाल जो है
प्रॉब्लम देखो, आज के टाइम पे सरकार ने नारा बनाया है, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, मतलब का नारा बनाया है। तो बेटी अगर पढ़ लिख गई, शिक्षित हो गई है, तो जॉब भी करेगी, कॉलेज भी जाएगी। इसका मतलब है कि बेटी को घर से बाहर नहीं निकलने दें। अगर घर से बाहर निकलेगी तो उसके साथ में क्राइम होगा, इस तरह तो उसके साथ में क्राइम होगा तो उस गरीब को न्याय नहीं मिलेगा। मुलजिम तिहाड़ में रोटियां तोड़ेंगे, कानून व्यवस्था जो है कि कोर्ट कचहरी में धक्का खाते रहो, वहाँ न्याय नहीं हो रहा है।
जिस देश में ये कहते हैं कि बेटियों के अगेंस्ट क्राइम रोकने के लिए उनकी शादी जल्दी करा दो और तब तक उनको घर में रखो, उस देश में बदलाव बहुत मुश्किल है, पर हमारी उम्मीद जारी रहेगी। धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। इनफैक्ट आई एम कंप्लीटली आउट ऑफ टाइम, तो आई एम गोइंग टू थैंक ऑल ऑफ माय पैनलिस्ट फॉर जॉइनिंग मी। व्यूअर्स, दिस इजंट जस्ट अबाउट वन केस, दिस इजंट अबाउट द फादर that I just spoke to, who lost his daughter over a decade ago in Najafgarh. He was the father of what was at that time called the Damini of Najafgarh. That's how the case actually came to be known. He's still fighting for justice. He still has to face questions and he's still been made to wonder whether he went wrong. Today, it's the family of the girl who's right now recovering, fighting for her life in a hospital in Mysuru. But instead of giving her the action details, probe details, instead of talking about what action has been taken, what is being looked into, who are the possible suspects, what are they going to do to fix this problem to ensure no other such crime takes place, the politicians from the government to the opposition are more interested in blaming the girl to say, oh, why did you go there at such an hour in the night? This needs to stop. When will our netas realize that we don't elect them to lecture us, to sermon us, to give us a session in moral values of what they think is right or wrong about where we should go, when we should go, what we should eat, and how and what we should wear? It has nothing to do with the crime that takes place on ground. The reason they have been elected to power is to make our lives safe, is to improve law and order, is to improve policing, is to make places safer, whether it's in day or night time, whether it's for a 15-year-old or a 50-year-old, it doesn't matter. Your job is to try and prevent crime. And if a crime takes place, then your job is to bring justice, to catch the culprits, to make sure the criminals are caught and put behind bars, and not to blame and shame the victims. Stop this now. Thank you for joining us.